Hi everyone, welcome back to Atomic Insights. Today we'll continue working on solutions of the IBMYP November 2022 paper. Just in case you missed the last video, you can check it out on the pop-up in this video. We solved one Criterion A question and we'll be continuing with another question from the same paper. As always, I highly encourage you to try these questions on your own and then look at my explanation for them. So let's jump right in.
Question is, humans use enzymes within the digestive system to break up their food to obtain the necessary nutrients. State two functions of enzymes. Now, this is a state question for 2 marks, which means that we just need to simply state the two functions of enzymes without an explanation or further description. So we need to recall our biology knowledge to answer this question. And firstly, we're going to write that enzymes can speed up chemical reactions by acting as catalysts. And the second point we need to mention is that they break down large, insoluble food molecules. And by food molecules, I mean proteins, fats, carbs into smaller molecules. Great. Next question we need to answer. In the human digestive system, digested food is neutralized when it reaches the small intestine. Use the graphs to determine which enzyme you would expect to see in the small intestine. Justify your answer using scientific reasoning. Alright, now we want to think back to neutralization reactions. What happens? And we know that the stomach has an acidic environment. So we would expect something really basic to neutralize that. So using this information, we can say that the enzyme that we expect is trypsin, right? So we need to write it's trypsin. And then we need to interpret the graph as well. We need to write that the trypsin has optimal activity around 9 pH, which is really basic. And for the third mark, we need to tie all of these observations together. So we need to say the small intestine has an alkaline environment because bile neutralizes stomach acid, so trypsin works best there for protein digestion. And that's your 3 marks. Question. In the small intestine, hydrochloric acid is neutralized with sodium hydrogen carbonate. The word equation for this reaction is, and they've given us the word equation, write down a balanced chemical equation for this reaction. Now, they have given the chemical formula for sodium hydrogen carbonate because it's not really a common formula, but the IB does expect you to know the formulas for hydrochloric acid, sodium chloride, water, and carbon dioxide. So we just need to recall what hydrochloric acid is nothing but HCl plus, and I'm looking at the word equation here while I write this, sodium hydrogen carbonate, which is given. And this turns into sodium chloride plus water plus carbon dioxide. Here's sodium chloride. I'm writing it a little bit down here because there's no space. H2O plus CO2. And now they have mentioned that it needs to be a balanced chemical reaction. On first view, this does appear to be balanced already, but let's check it if that's the case. All right, let's check for H on both sides to see how many there are. So on the left side, I can see 1 and 2 H's. On the right, I can see 2. Cl, I can see 1. And on the right hand side, I can also see 1. And left hand side, I can see 1 Na. So 1. And here I can see 1 Na as well. And let's count the number of carbon here. 1. And the number of carbon here is also 1. And let's count the number of oxygen, which is 3 here. And we have 1 plus 2. So 3 here as well. So we can say that this chemical equation is balanced just as we wrote it. Now, just know that this is not always going to be the case. And if you want to know how to balance any chemical equation.
So congrats on solving Criterion A for this paper. Comment down below if you got the question right with your queries and suggestions on topic I should cover. If this video was helpful, like, share, and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this.